Hi, I'm Reed Holson. Welcome to Ask the Mayor, our monthly conversation with Mayor Mike Huther and what's going on with the city of Sioux Falls. If you'd like to ask questions or watch previous programs, just go to siouxfalls.org, right on the front page, look for the video section, and click on Ask the Mayor. Welcome, Mayor Mike Huther.
Reed, thank you. Really looking forward to it. And in fact, as I was driving here for the program today, I'm going, can we turn this into an hour-long program versus a half-hour program? There's still so much, that I'd love to talk about or try to help accomplish or address, but we'll try to make this half hour a productive
We
one.
will. We'll hit a lot of different subjects,
Thank
but
you.
there's been a lot of meetings, obviously city council meetings, a lot of passion going on. Let's start first with that downtown development, the mixed-use parking ramp.
Yeah. Well, again, passionate topic, one that as a city we have been working on it for years, truly at least 3 years. Started with Darren Smith in Darren's team, and now Darren Ketchum and his team, and certainly not only this council but a prior council as well. So a lot of time and effort has been put into it. Good due diligence, a lot of tough questions, a lot of dialogue, but ultimately, it is a $50 million investment with a public-private partnership that will address not only a need that we have today, but I think more importantly, will address a need that we'll have for generations to come, as well as adding some really economic development vitality to it too, and really just play a key role in our downtown and in the more fruitful development in our downtown.
In essence, I've had 2 votes on this, and it stands, and it's going forward, and the development partners are standing.
Yeah, it wasn't a unanimous vote, but really a solid vote. And again, I think the thing that folks have to realize is that there is so much that goes into these decisions that are really, really tough. But there is so much work that is being done by the city council, by the administration, by all the players to make sure that we focus on let's do the right thing for the city as a whole. And that's what we've been doing, at least during my 8 years, and I'm sure way before that. And that's exactly what happened with this particular proposal as well.
That whole block's going to see a lot of development in 2018 with the Copper Lounge site, and now this behind it.
Well, I think it's just more of the good things that have happened in downtown. Really just a phenomenal amount of investment, public investment, private investment, some public-private partnerships that have really just energized downtown Sioux Falls to a new level. But we're not done. There's still so much more that we can accomplish. And yes, whether it be the mixed-use parking ramp, whether it be the new development that'll happen there on the corner, the Levitt Pavilion, maybe a phase 3 someday of the River Greenway, and just so much more activity that really is just making downtown the place to be, and not only a place to work like it always was, but really the place to play. And now, more importantly, the place to live. It is one of the downtown Sioux Falls, if you can imagine this, in a very, very short period of time, has become one of the largest communities in all of South Dakota. And I think that's why you're seeing so much of the development that's occurring down there.
And we're anticipating a major hotel partner being named for this project as well.
Yes, and again, that's probably, again, one of those exciting things, because we are focused on certainly that quality of life, but also economic development generators as well. What are some things that will drive sales tax revenues into our city? What will get these people to not only stay one day, but maybe stay multiple nights? And things like a grand hotel in our downtown, another one, will really help. And then when you throw in the fact that we're going to have additional parking for our downtown, and you won't even know it's there in terms of the facade that's all around it, and all the retail that'll happen below it or on the first or second floor. It's just really, really thrilling. And at Sioux Falls, I think there's one thing that I'd love you to understand is that we certainly could have just built another parking ramp like we've been doing for generations, but we wanted to dream bigger, be more visionary, as well as take more advantage of that really, really valuable piece of land that is in our downtown. Because land in downtown, it's not everywhere anymore. And so when we have an opportunity to develop upon it, we should really make sure that it's a grand investment that is made.
Let's move to the golf courses. Landscapes Unlimited
Yes.
are going to be our new partners in this coming season.
Another very, very passionate topic. And this is something that is probably been overdue in terms of analyzing whether there's another way to really make full use or get the highest level value of this city-owned entity, in this case called our golf courses. And so it's been a long time since we've done it, but yeah, there was an RFP that was done, and it's a process that has really been tested not only in Sioux Falls over the years, but all across the state over the years. And folks, I will flat out tell you, it is a process that works. And I think the reason that it works is that it's incredibly objective. And that means it's based on really the facts, the numbers. You try to keep the emotion and the passion and some of those special interests, you keep that out of it. And you really focus on what is good for your city or your town or your state. And RFPs they're time tested, as well as they're legally sound and legally protected for a good reason. They serve our citizens very well.
Request for proposal, it's put out there,
Yeah.
and anybody can make a proposal, and the city's very straightforward on what objectives they're looking for in trying to accomplish in that proposal.
Before you send out that RFP, you try to identify what are truly the objectives we want to accomplish. What is it that we want these parties that may have interest? What do they need to bring forward in order maybe to earn that honor, to earn that contract, or serve that city, town, or state? And that's exactly what happened here with the new golf course management proposal. There are things that we wanted to do to really take golf course management to a higher level. Service, productivity, management, revenue potential, maximizing these valuable resources, whether it be the buildings that are upon these golf courses, or yes, the golf courses themselves, and so much more. And that's exactly what happened with this RFP. We had some really good candidates apply, and really pleased that multiple people wanted to fight or compete for this business. But yeah, I think that the folks that were part of that RFP review committee, they put in so much time, so much effort, so much energy to really focus on what's good for Sioux Falls as a whole, and they unanimously selected Landscapes Unlimited to do that, and the city council supported that effort as well, and I'm just really proud of it.
And this RFP process is a process that's used in many departments across the city for major contracts,
For a long
services
time.
and all kinds of different things.
Thank you, Reed. And I think that's important. Yeah, we use it quite often in various departments in city government, but also all across this great state. And again, it just helps ensure that you get the most objective evaluation possible. And I'm just again really pleased, because I know that a year from now we're going to reap the rewards from all the good work that the city council put in, the RFP review committee put in, the people that submitted these proposals, ultimately Landscapes Unlimited, the work they'll do, and yeah, we're going to take golf play, golf service, golf management, and hopefully golf revenues to an all new level.
The equipment and the transition between
Yeah.
our current management firm and Landscapes Unlimited. How's that going to all work out? Because there's a lot of transition that needs to go on.
Well, I think the one thing that's important for people of Sioux Falls and yes, South Dakota to know is that government is structured in such a way where you do your utmost to protect the taxpayer. And I've learned a lot on my 8-year journey in terms of how this works. You will pay what it is worth, the value, what it's appraised at, or in some cases, what's the lowest bid that meets the objective of the equipment or of the service. And that's exactly what has been part of the discussion when it comes to the equipment of our golf courses. We're not going to overpay. We cannot overpay. We're there to protect the taxpayers, and ultimately that's what's going to happen. The equipment decision is still being worked on, but ultimately by the time that we are ready to swing that first golf club or serve that first meal, or again serve the citizens of Sioux Falls, and whether you golf or not, we'll be ready when that time is right, and we'll have good equipment to make that happen.
All of these topics are very complicated and very impactful in the city of Sioux Falls. Yeah. In the background, there's a lot of information that goes on with this, a lot of work that goes on. Can you explain how the city and its employees respond to public, media, council requests for information and background information?
It's one of the more challenging things that I've had to address over my 8 years, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this a little bit. Lately I know there's been words thrown out about openness or transparency or more due diligence or more time or more whatever. People of Sioux Falls, you cannot imagine the amount of time, the amount of effort, the amount of due diligence, the number of questions that are answered not only for citizens, but also certainly for city councilors, interested parties, including, yes, the media, on this journey called public service. And so whenever I hear that, there's just been not enough openness and transparency, I do struggle with that. Because, again, at some point in time, people, whether it be, a decision you have to make at home, a decision you have to make at your church, a decision that you have to make in your small or large business, or yes, a decision that you have to make in government, at some point in time, folks, you actually do have to make a decision. And in government, you have an opportunity to vote, yes or no. It's not always unanimous. And actually, I think that's good when it's not. But you do make a decision. And once that decision is made in the city of Sioux Falls, most of the time, we move on and we tackle other issues, other opportunities. And that's what we've been doing over the last 8 years. And I sincerely hope we continue to do that long after I'm done being your mayor. But whenever you hear things like lack of transparency or lack of due diligence or lack of communication, I would really question that. Because again, folks, you can't imagine the amount of work and effort that's done, all in the spirit of doing the right thing for the community as a whole. And then read maybe just one last thing, and then we'll move on. Here's one of the realities too, is that not everybody gets what they want. There are winners, and someone may lose on a topic. And if you really want to be liked by everybody, public service isn't going to be for you. It's just not. I do want people to like me, but whenever I make a decision, or whenever a city councilor makes a decision, or the governor makes a decision, there are people who are going to be very disappointed because they felt, well, I lost that one. No, in reality, we didn't lose. We had to make a decision. We had to compromise. We had to find common ground. We had to communicate. We had to collaborate. And ultimately, we made a decision and we moved forward. And that's exactly what happens here. But yes, some folks are going to be very, very passionate, very vocal, very concerned. And ultimately, there's times where they may not get what ultimately that they wanted. But I hope that after some time, they'll realize, you know what, we still moved on. We got a great community, and we're tackling all the good things that may be just as controversial in the days to come. And guess what? We're going to get through that too.
All right. On that thought, we're going to take a break.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with Mayor Mike Huther and Ask the Mayor.
The Midco Aquatic Center is hiring part-time lifeguard positions, work while going to school, flexible schedules, and bonus opportunities available. No certification needed to apply. Find out more information at midcoaquaticcenter.org/employment.
Welcome back to Ask the Mayor with Mayor Mike Huther. And again, if you'd like to send your questions to us, we'd like to feature them on the program. Just go to siouxfalls.org. Click on Ask the Mayor right on the front page of our website. Well, building permits again in 2017. How many years in a row have we talked about this? 5 years in a row now, another record-setting year.
5 straight years of record-breaking construction. And I'm not going to talk about it much, but my gosh, Sioux Falls, just look what we've accomplished as a city. I don't believe there's ever been a time when we have felt this confident about the things that we can accomplish in Sioux Falls. And you need that confidence in order to get people to invest in your town. And my goodness, Reed, they're still investing at even higher levels. And I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but I'll tell you, Reed, I'm gonna make a prediction right now. We broke it 1 year, we broke it 2, we broke it 3, we broke it 4. We've now broken it 5 straight years in Sioux Falls, and in 2018, I think we're going to break it again.
Really?
I do. There are so many things that are happening, north, south, east, west, in the heart of our town. People are moving here because they want to capture these opportunities that we have in Sioux Falls in terms of great place to live, great place to raise a family, great place to work. Again, #1 city in America named by Forbes in terms of careers and a place to do business, as well as a place to play. We've created a quality of life and things to do for young and old, rich or poor, and people want a piece of that, including building more homes, more condos, more businesses, more public investments, and it's just been thrilling. So yeah, Reed, I'm not going to be the mayor come December of 2018, but that new mayor, my gut says, will be celebrating our 6th straight year of record-breaking construction.
And what's encouraging is to see some repurposing of some older properties. For instance, the Great Western Bank Building being made into a boutique hotel.
Reed, oh my gosh. I started my campaign almost 9 years ago in downtown Sioux Falls, and I walked through all these buildings. Some of them are very historic in nature. And yeah, they were certainly underutilized. I'm sure some had pigeons and all kinds of other rodents within them just because they were just sitting there. But now, all these buildings, every floor, all this space has just become unbelievably valuable. And now these dreamers, investors, builders, they are putting money into these old facades, these old buildings as well. And it fascinates me. You know, the old wood, the old steel, the old rock. People will pay extra money for that to live there or work there or play there. And so, yeah, it's just been wonderful. I mean, just to see all the good things that have happened in our town just really thrills me, as you can probably figure out today.
Yeah, you're excited about it. As you talked about 8 years ago, one of your goals was to get a lot more residents in downtown Sioux Falls. Do you have a number in your head on how many people generally have moved into Sioux Falls in the last 8 years or so?
I think that right now we've got about 2,500 to 3,000 people living downtown. And that was an ultimate goal of mine. I know that was maybe a little controversial when I came out of the blocks, when I talked about how I wanted Sioux Falls to be the place to live first, the place to live. And that kind of came up during the event center debate, Reed. I don't know if you remember, when we were talking about location. When I talked about downtown, I was very, very sincere when I said, I didn't believe that the event center was most appropriate for downtown. I didn't. To me, if you wanted that blood pumping through that heart of downtown, the way that you do that is not through a sold-out show every month and a half or two. The way that you really make your blood pump in that downtown heartbeat is you make it the place to live. Then you've got stuff going on 7/24 every day of the week, and that's what we've created in downtown, and it's only going to get better. That heart is just going to keep pumping at an even faster pace, and I love it.
We've been excited, obviously, over the last 8 years. The reality is that you're out of office in about 4 months in May, when the new mayor takes office. So what are you looking at in these last remaining months, and what's in the future? Everybody's wanting to know what you're going to do next.
Yeah, you're trying to get to me, Reed.
Well,
it is something that Cindy and we are struggling with at the highest level, just because you're right. I've other than being a grandpa or a husband or a son or a father, this has been the utmost, most rewarding thing I've ever done in public service. Here's what I'll tell the people of Sioux Falls with 5 months to go. I just went like this with my heart. Well, guess what? When I run a race, whether it's a marathon, a half marathon, whatever it is, I sprint at the end. I sprint. And I can see the end, and I'm going to get not only myself to sprint, but everybody around me, come sprint with me. Let's go. Let's go as hard as we can to the bitter end. And that's what we're going to do. I have a daily, a weekly, and yes, a 5-month to-do list, and we're going to knock those things off that to-do list. We will have a really solid financial foundation that's built. We'll help prepare the next mayor for the next budget process. We'll do a ribbon cutting for the new city administration building. Hopefully we'll announce that first big dream for the rail yard redevelopment area, that 10 acres of land, and so much more. There is no way that I'm checking out. No. The people of Sioux Falls, they elected me to get stuff done. And I'm going to do it till the better end with a ton of help from a lot of people around me, including the city council. And again, I know that sometimes people are thinking, oh my gosh, it seems like the council and the administration, maybe they're not working as much together. Folks, I don't know if we've ever worked better together. Sincerely, we are accomplishing as much during the tenure of a lame duck mayor than maybe most have in terms of when they weren't lame duck. This last 6 months, if you look at the things that we've knocked off the to-do list, it's pretty fascinating. And you don't do that just because of the mayor. You don't do that just because of the administrative or executive branch of government. No, you do that when you get the legislative branch, the judicial branch, the executive branch, and then, yes, the citizens rallying together in the spirit of finding common ground, compromising, collaborating, and getting stuff done. So, I love it. Reed, I didn't tell you what Cindy and I are going to do come May 16th. We'll tell you pretty soon, I think. But I will tell you this, and I think people will know that. Come May 16th, I'm still going to be making the most of every day that God gives me. And I believe that someday public service will be part of that. Those days. At least I hope so.
Yeah, but not yet. We won't know yet.
Stay tuned.
Okay, we'll stay tuned. Big election, obviously, coming up for mayor and council seats. Now, there's a different way that we're choosing the election results and choosing our councilor members, 50% +1.
Well, and this is, again, one of those where not everybody agreed on the city council, and I respect that. But I will flat out tell you, I'm thrilled by it. And I am just unbelievably supportive of this effort because, folks, I strongly believe in as did at least half the council. They believe that in order to serve the citizens of Sioux Falls, that at least 50% of the voters plus one, they should support you. And I just think it's the right thing to do. You should earn that honor, put in that time, generate those resources, make that commitment to get at least the majority of the people that you want to represent. Make sure that yes, when they step into that ballot box, they vote for you versus a potential minority. And again, I just think it strengthens our government. It ensures that we get majority interests driving the productivity and the decision making of this town. And so, yeah, I love it. And one of the arguments that was presented, and I wholeheartedly disagreed with it, is that, well, we may have to have a runoff election and then spend some money to do it. Wow, what a small price to pay in order to assure that you've got the strongest individuals representing you in terms of they're representing the majority of the people that they want to serve. I mean, folks, we've got almost a $500 million budget. And so whether it's a council member or a mayor, if you have to spend, oh my gosh, I don't know, $75,000, $80,000 in order to have a runoff election, wow. What a small price to pay. It's well worth the investment, Sioux Falls. It is. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about it. And I know that there are some folks who just don't believe in it, but this mayor wholeheartedly does. And I'll also tell you this. I've had, since we've done the votes, and we've now done it twice, you want to know how many people have called me and said that we've made the wrong decision, Reed? Zero. I have had some counselors that have sent me some notes where they disagreed. I respect that. But when it came to the citizens, reaching out to me outside of a city council meeting, it's been zero.
What can we do to get more people to vote? That's the biggest thing, because our voter turnout in city elections has historically been low.
Well, and I think that's the thing that we should be focusing on as a city. And that actually even came up in the last dialogue, is that rather than worrying so much about this, let's get people to vote. I mean, that would really strengthen our government even more, as if not only if we had really, really good candidates, but also let's get these people really energized about city government, county government, state government, federal. Let's get them energized about it and realize how important their vote is. Because folks, right now about 88% of the people think that Sioux Falls is a good or a great place to live. 88%. Well, that can turn on a dime, depending on who you elect to be your county commissioner, your school board representative, your governor, your mayor, your council. It really could. Who you select to serve you is critical. So yeah, please, Sioux Falls, we've got a big election coming up. Pay attention now. Ask some tough questions. Make these candidates tell you what they really believe. And if they skirt around the answer, make them answer it again. But yeah, no, it's critical. We need you to vote. So pay attention to Sioux Falls, and then after this election, consider running yourself, because we need you.
Say, Mayor, quick final question.
Yes.
Are we going to work on thinning the deer herd in the city of Sioux Falls again this year?
We've been very fortunate in terms of working with the Game Fish and Parks, to help thin the deer herd in Sioux Falls over the last couple of years, and yep, we're going to do it again. We received permission to cull that herd by about 50 animals, and we'll do it. We'll do it productively, safely, and then yes, we'll take that venison and we'll feed it to people who really need it.
All right, Mayor, thanks for your time.
You're welcome, Reed.
All right, we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Ask the Mayor. And quickly, if you'd like to take in some winter activities, find that winter activity guide on our website at siouxfalls.org. Click on Parks and Recreation. I'm Reed Holson. See you next time on Ask the Mayor.